Hello, I'm Neha Cherian. I'm an editor with the Fifth Estate, and today I have with me Saketh, who is contesting for the position of Institute Cultural Affairs Secretary Arts. So Saketh, the first question for you. What is your opinion on merging the positions of CulSec Lit and CulSec Arts, since there is no meaningful distinction between them anyways? Why not have just one secretarial position for the cultural sphere with a different selected Saarang head under the cultural secretary, as happens in other IITs and the co-curricular sphere in IITM?
Alright, to firstly answer your question, no, it shouldn't be merged, because two secretaries, when they are elected by representatives, especially for cultural sphere, they are both responsible and answerable for everybody, that is the GSB, right? And constitutionally, you also refer to it as that there is no meaningful distinction. Constitutionally, both adhere to literary events and cultural events, right? But in the evolution of the organization, cultural sphere, the organization has become a lot more complex, that requires a lot more creativity for progression, right? That involves at least two people at the higher hierarchy knowing how to interpret and discuss, review, and take the insight, like take their vision forward. And additionally, I think as a secretary, you will have to have having a nomination head will not work, because as a secretary, you are catering to wider amount of broader stakeholders than usual.
All right. How do you think the cultural contingents have performed in this first completely offline year since 2019? What problems have you identified with regards to the cultural contingent, and how do you plan to address them?
All right. Yes, after having it as a transition year back into offline space, I think we have performed really better than expected than what we have done in 2019, especially when we have got a lot more opportunities. Our contingent have gotten a lot more opportunities to go perform and excel in some of their spheres. And even from the organizational perspective, we have allocated a lot more resources for them to excel, practice, and cherish. And also, I think we have received a lot more external opportunities of collaboration, which is a budding space for contingents to improve their quality and improve their skill set, right? Which I would like to take it up during my tenure as part of my initiatives in my manifesto. And in terms of problems, I can demarcate problems into internal and external. External can be solved through my manifesto points. Internal could be participation and inclusivity, which can be solved through more open mics and more participation from students.
Right. Do you think that events like Mardi Gras and Prom increase the participation of the GSP in the cultural scene? Given that most of the GSP does not engage actively with the cultural sphere, what more do you think can be done to reduce the barriers to entry and encourage general participation?
All right, so Mardi Gras, the principle of starting Mardi Gras is to promote what a cultural event looks like on ground for a lot of people who have not seen what culturals means for past 2 years. And planning and execution for that was done on the similar basis. For prom, it was an initiative under Sangam to showcase what certain clubs entail, and that got executed on the same basis. Again, coming to the second half of your question about GSB and their problems of participation into these cultural spheres, I think GSB would like to experience than participate when it comes to culturals, right? That is the first way you can initiate them or encourage them to see what culturals should contain. And in order to approach that, I think you need to take up newer spaces and directions, like I have ideated upon in my manifesto regarding department-wise initiatives, and also breaking the normativity of.
Right, Saketh. Now coming to your manifesto, could you explain the feasibility of a customized Sangam report for students? How do you intend for this to not be discouraging for a member who has not been as successful as their peers? Through which medium would this be disseminated?
All right. With regards to the feasibility of this idea, I think it is completely feasible, because analytics of sustainability, a new team that was formed under Saarang can take up this initiative to extend their functions towards Sangam as well. And my intent of creating this idea is that it is beyond just creating a Sangam wrapped, which is just a byproduct for the GSB. The broader idea is to analyze the problems, quantitatively analyze the problems that are happening while conducting an event, be it from participation or conduction timing or any much more problems beyond that, right? To analyze and reflect solutions based on that. And firstly, I would like to say it is not a report card. It is a trendy way of saying this is your time with culturals, and you should more appreciating than criticizing or critiquing what you have done to culturals. And yeah, the possible mediums are ideally physical memos, but beyond that, we can always take it up via email.
Now, about your idea of cultural internships, is this initiative meant to be a year-round process, or would it happen during a specific part of the year? Can the COC handle the responsibilities of calling companies for internships for what are a very wide array of skills along with their existing duties?
So the current plan for cultural internships is to keep it year-long, because we do not want to market certain offers or certain internships as a flagship event for a limited amount of time. And yes, COC can take this up because it's a dynamic body that can be, attained to take it up to as many spheres as possible. And because it says outreach, I think it is possible. I will be creating a sub-vertical under COC who will be trained and guided, right, on the same lanes of how placement and internship, practices over summer or on the similar timelines. And the opportunities of wide array of skills is not a hindrance than an opportunity, because it is allowing the team to explore a lot more avenues than usual.